Well, hi there. It's Wednesdays, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on Ewtn Radio. And you're a part of this as well. You drive the program, Take Two listeners. So we indeed anticipate hearing from many of you on today's broadcast. I'm Jerry Usher, along with Debbie Georgiani. And Debbie, I'm looking at the shows we've been doing lately. I guess we did this intentionally, but there's a series of kind of taking a look at the Christmas season from different perspectives.
Different angles, yeah. Do you know we're a week away from the start of Christmas season?
I know. Wow.
This is amazing how fast this year has gone. Yeah, so this is kind of the part two or the series on being alone for the holidays, being estranged from family members, loved ones, friends. And we're talking about how that makes us feel and what's our takeaway about this? You know, how do we view it? We had some great calls yesterday sharing from their hearts on how they feel about being away from family members or with family members, and it's a little bit, tension filled. But speaking about that, Jerry, we had Gary Zimak on yesterday on our Jerry and Debbie webinar, and Gary did just a phenomenal job answering the questions that were put forth by the book club members, the Inspired by Faith book club members, and from all the Take Two family. And on one of the questions, do you remember this, Jerry, where it was talking about being with, the tension and the stress? He was talking about being worry-free and stress-free during the holidays and, throughout your life. And one of the questions came up about, being with family members, of what happens if it causes that tension or makes you, not be a very nice person. And Gary made the comment that he had spoken to a priest about that one time. And the priest said it would be the most charitable thing to do if you would remove yourself from that situation, not go into that, knowing that it potentially could turn out to be disastrous and really sinful, if you get into a fight or if things are said or stuff like that. That really helped me. Did you, I'm curious, did you catch that I think that was a really healthy suggestion that the priest made to Gary?
Well, I think it's very logical. I think it's very pastoral of that priest to do that. I mean, we never want to see situations like that. Sometimes they do come up in our lives, and sometimes, it is necessary for us to, excuse ourselves from a situation that we're already in, or simply, tell people that, appreciate the invitation, but I've got another commitment or something, and not even enter into it at all. So, but we're looking at it from a little bit of a different perspective today.
Yeah, and one other thing I just wanted to say real quickly about Gary Zimak's webinar, we're still having a little bit of technical difficulties with the Jerry and Debbie site. We're working on it, just to let you know. But we always have Jerry and Debbie Facebook page, so please like us on the Jerry and Debbie Facebook page, and we are going to post that recording of the webinar. It's about 30 minutes long. You will love it. He gives some great advice and practical wisdom on how to live stress-free and worry-free, and a lot of spiritual good tools there, Jerry, that I learned. I took a lot of notes, and I'm going to go back and listen to it as soon as we post it on Facebook.
Who wants to live stress-free? Come on. Seriously, we get so used to certain things that, if things were to even improve sometimes, we'd be a little bit uncomfortable at times. But here's where we're going today, folks. Yesterday, Debbie mentioned we talked about if you're going to be alone at Christmas time or over the holidays, to call in and share your take. Today, we want to look at this from more of like a perspective of an estrangement, perhaps, from a family member, and that makes it most difficult at this time of the year. Maybe you're missing someone due to an absence or a special death, a holiday estrangements or heartaches or disappointments. 833-288-3986 will get you on the program today.
And yesterday at the close of the show, we were speaking to Marie from Dallas, Texas. She was a first-time caller, and we were having a very good discussion about this exact topic. And so it worked in perfectly for today. And we had more to share and more to talk about with Marie. So we invited her to call back to start off the show. And she did. Don't you just love, Jerry, when our Take Two family really does respond like that when we put the invitation out? I think the Take Two family is all heart. I just love it. So Marie has called back, and we'll continue that discussion. We'll kind of rewind from yesterday in case you missed a little bit of yesterday's show, and then we'll carry into this discussion. I think it's going to be very good. If you have these, estrangements in your family circle or your friend circle. Let's talk about it today. The holidays are here, okay, and it's could be tough. It could bring forth a lot of emotions, and we want to talk about it and see if we can walk away with some great skills and tools to have that beautiful, joyous celebration in our hearts and in our behavior as well. Not to sit there and just pull the covers over our head and say, hope this season goes very quickly. We really want to enter into the season and be in the moment. Please dial in and share your wisdom on this. We know we have a lot of clergy listening. We'd like to hear from you as well. 833-288-3986.
All right. Yeah. So many things can cause us to have a pained heart this time of year, maybe even all year for that matter. But there's just something about the Christmas time, the Christmas season, Advent and Christmas, and the beautiful joy that we really should be feeling and experiencing. But there are a lot of things that can minimize that, or even attempt to steal that from us. And so we want to hear from you today. If you any heartaches that you're experiencing right now that are going to maybe impact your ability to really concentrate, focus, especially on the birth of Jesus at Christmas. Maybe it was a bad health diagnosis that you received sometime during this year, and now this Christmas is very different for you. Maybe it's weighing on you for some reason. Mm-hmm. Or I know, Debbie, when I was growing up, my mother was always concerned that she would have enough financial resources,
mm-hmm.
To give us 5 kids, the Christmas that she wanted to. And
right.
I know it's a little bit of a materialistic thing, but as parents, you do want to make sure that your kids hopefully have something on
right.
Christmas Day. So maybe there are people who, financially are just really burdened and heartached right now because
mm-hmm.
they're thinking, I can't, this Christmas isn't going to be like others because we don't have the funds to do it, which isn't the most important thing in the world. We understand, but
right.
Yeah, so.
But there's so many things during Christmas you can give for free. Your prayers, your time. There's so many things that you can give to others, which is a beautiful thing. Got to get creative, Jerry. Real quickly, we got 3 urgent prayer requests that came in overnight. One is there's 2 sisters. It's anonymous. We know the name, but they wanted to remain anonymous. 2 sisters are having surgery today. One sister is giving a kidney to the other sister. So if we can please pray for that the surgery goes well. There's also a court case in the appellate court that is very important today. Please, folks, keep that in prayer, that it goes in the direction of the victim. And Gary Zimak's mom. We got to pray for Gary Zimak's mom. She's been battling dementia, and the family they need the prayers. So this is Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie. We'll be right back with your calls.
The Dominican doctor of the Church, St. Thomas Aquinas, describes St. Dominic's order of preachers as men living a mixed life who contemplate the mysteries of Jesus Christ, which overflows with an abundance of preaching and teaching for the salvation of souls. Today, this mission continues in the orders the Angelicum in Rome, which educates over 1,000 students coming from over 90 countries in the heart of historic Rome on the Quirinale Hill. This is Father Benedict Kroll, the Director of Mission Advancement for the Angelicum in Rome. Learn more at angelicum.it.
Father Robert Spitzer.
First of all, you will get a much deeper awareness of your faith, much deeper awareness of the evidence for your faith, explanations of tough theological issues, how science and reason and faith come together, and above all, a deeper awareness of how to practice your faith and how to live it.
Father Spitzer's Universe with Father Robert Spitzer. Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern on EWTN Radio.
If you're currently an EWTN media missionary or just interested in becoming one, we've got some great news. EWTN Media Missionaries has a new and improved website, EWTNmissionaries.com, designed with you in mind. Our new site is loaded with great features and it's easy to navigate. There are so many different ways that you can help EWTN. Join us in sharing the eternal word with the world. Visit EWTNmissionaries.com today.
Great to have you with us on this Wednesday episode of Take 2 with Jerry and Debbie. Monday through Friday at this time is where you find this program on most of these same EWTN stations, and a replay at midnight Eastern Time as well. And we have a lot of calls coming in on our topic today. Just wanted to mention a couple things. Debbie, we did just get, within the last several minutes, we got word of the passing of Gary Zimak's mother last night. So Yeah, yeah, and she was very, very ill, and Gary did email us just this morning and said, "Thanks for the prayers." So Take Two family, thank you for praying for Gary's mom. I know she and he would appreciate that.
She's in the arms of Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Okay,
And
well, we still could continue to pray just for the grieving process. Doesn't matter how young or old folks are, or parents are when they pass. It's hard. It's tough.
yeah, we were talking a minute ago about giving gifts, and the greatest gift is our love for one another and our faith in Jesus. But, we all try and give some kind of a little material gift to show our love for our loved ones and how much we care about them, especially care about their souls. And so we invite you to give the gift that represents Christmas in the truest form possible, and that is in the EWTN Religious Catalogue. And here's a holy reminder that they have a featured item, a Nativity lighted Swirl lantern. Now, it's sparkling white lantern. It features a beautiful nativity scene in the center, surrounded by swirling glitter that continually moves when the light is switched on. And keep in mind, you're going to get free shipping if you make a purchase of $75 or more. But also, we all hold the memory of Mother Angelica dear, and your purchases help to forward the mission of EWTN, all of the different media platforms of EWTN. So go to EWTNRC.com. Make that one of your best stops for Christmas shopping.
Okay, so there's a couple open phone lines. If you'd like to jump in on this conversation, now's the time to do it at 833-288-3986. And yesterday at the end of the show, Marie called in. She was a first-time caller from Dallas, Texas. Now, Marie, you said you've never done that before, a little nervous. You can't be nervous anymore because you called back, right, Marie? Welcome.
I did call back, but I am still nervous.
Oh, bless your heart. You're doing great. But yeah, so let's just, for our listeners' sake, because maybe they didn't make yesterday's show or get to listen to it, please, can you just recap just a little bit about what's the situation in your family, and then Jerry and I have something to comment about that.
Okay. A friend notified me to listen to the program immediately because we had been speaking about this problem going on in my family. I turned on the program and I heard you all speaking of this kind of first-time Christmas without family, and I did feel drawn by the Spirit to call in, and I was thrilled to be able to visit a little bit about it. I was talking about my family sort of coming to understand. I'm in my mid-60s, and I've come to understand that there's a lot of codependence in my family, very enmeshed dynamic in the family, and also the difficulties with narcissism going on there, and that my role in the family I've come to see has been the scapegoat. I'm sure that's not odd for a lot of people who are listening. But it's a difficult position to be in, most especially because I've only been coming to understand this in the last 5 or so years. My spiritual director helps me with this, but it does affect the family dynamic greatly. Last Christmas, I have been kind of pulling away a little from family events because of sort of feeling like a distant guest rather than a member of the group who's there. It's exacerbated some because my father, who's quite elderly and has had dementia, mild dementia for many years, it's a blessing that he's not aware of these dynamics, really, and yet it does make it more difficult because I'm not, just because of the way they are not really a part of his life, and I'm a great part of his life for all these years, visiting him very frequently, 4 or 5 times a week, whatever. And they are very absentee from his life. But while they are with him, there's a lot of show and hoopla going on about, being caring for him. But last year I got a flu and was unable to to participate in the Christmas with all of them. And I was kind of surprised that I never got a follow-up phone call. How are you? Can we bring you some chicken soup, something? Because my role in that family is to be the scapegoat. And I'm sure a lot of folks know that experience. Mm-hmm. So as this year has transpired, I've realized the need to begin distancing myself. It's very difficult. A lot of, nostalgic feelings, mm-hmm. a lot of, I wish that, and also questioning, doubting, am I doing something wrong? Is this me? Is this, is what they're saying true? Or not saying, but acting in certain ways. So those are the things I'm dealing with. But I have decided it is, I heard a comment from you all just a minute ago. Sometimes the holier route to take is to stay away from a situation that might cause one to sin.
Yeah. More charitable, the more charitable path. But Marie, let me just comment real quickly, because you're not alone. I think you know that, and I'm sure your spiritual director probably told you that. There's so many, millions of families that have these different factors that play in, personalities and things like that. And people get into their roles from early childhood, and then they carry that on into their adulthood, and you can't break from that role, and you never seem to can grow out of that label that was given to you, or that position that was given to you in the family. And I'm not a counselor or a therapist, but as you can tell, I know a lot about this because I've been through a lot of therapy and a lot of counseling when it comes to a big Italian family with a lot of personalities like my family. And I made the conscious decision as well, after much prayer and discernment, to pull away from certain members because it was getting really ugly, and it wasn't good, and it wasn't healthy, and it wasn't going to put any of us on the path to sainthood. And it was just the better thing to do. But the key that I always was what I learned from my spiritual directors, and I have a couple of them actually. I think I need a couple of them. But anyway, is that to do it out of love and to do it in a prayerful way. Yeah. And I pray for my siblings every day from my heart, from the purest part of my heart. Not like, I'm going to pray for this one, I'm going to pray for that one. I really do pray. I want their good. I want God to give them their best, most abundant life. I want them to get to heaven. I want all of the great things for them. And I feel really good about it. I will tell you, it's taken me a lot of years, but now I'm at a place that I would never want to go back there. I would never want to rewind and go back to that really bad place, because I was not a good person. I will tell you, I got into the mud with it, and it wasn't good. So I don't know if that maybe is an affirmation for you to prayerfully continue on this beautiful path. And I don't expect anything from them. Like if I were to get sick, I don't expect some of them to show up with chicken soup or anything. And that's okay, because that's where they're at. But here's the other thing real quickly. I was just going to say, Marie, our memories that we have from the past, I pull from all the good memories. I tend not to dwell on any of the bad memories anymore, because it just puts me back in that place. And I do feel now, it took me a while, but with a lot of support from a lot of great priests that gave me great wisdom and advice, I do feel like this is the better path for all of us to get to heaven. So that's where I'm at. Can you relate to that, Marie?
Oh gosh, absolutely. I do as you said you do, and I've found great peace in it. I pray for them every day. Every night I pray a rosary, and I understand that this is a dynamic. I've come to finally realize, because as you said, you got in the mud. I've been in the mud. This is a dynamic that they didn't start. I didn't start. We just find ourselves in it. And so, whereas before I was seeing a lot of blame and shame on them, I realized we're all just, we were born into this situation that none of us really understand, and I'm coming to understand it, which is why I want to back away. And there is the struggle that I have with that false guilt that I've carried, and kind of moving beyond that. But prayer has been the way, hasn't it? I mean, prayer has been the way, and I have a faith that we will sometime come back together. I don't know how. But it's God's plan. It's God's way. Right. This is serving some purpose that I can't understand. The pain is real. It really has helped me understand Christ's pain, of being falsely accused, and a mock trial, and all of these things. But what you say is very helpful, and especially the prayer part.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Marie. There's a lot of families that they're connected. They really do love each other. They respect one another. They respect boundaries. They're really good about building each other up. And when they hear stories like ours, they go, "Oh, that's horrible. That's not the Christian way. That's horrible. You can't be disconnected from your family." You know, people don't understand. There's some families that are really dysfunctional, functional, and it's you can't. You don't know until you're in that situation how toxic it can be to your spiritual life and everything. I didn't know for almost, I'm almost ashamed to say, almost 45 years, Marie. It took me 45 years to realize this is never going to change. I'm the one who's got to change, and
this
so
is exactly my experience.
Yeah. So that's why I hope that families that are connected, you do realize how beautiful and blessed you are. You are so blessed. And please pray for all of us who have these fractured families that we're trying to love, and maybe we have to love them from a distance. That's all I'm saying. So Marie, I definitely feel like we share this same path. What do you think, Jerry? You come from a big family. I mean, you guys are all pretty close though, right?
Yeah, 5 siblings, 4 now, without my sister. But yeah, it was very interesting. I was going to say that no matter how much time passes, it seems like my 3 brothers and I, we can get together. We're like-minded in a lot of ways. We don't have complete agreement on everything, but it just seems like, we come together and we try to realize what the important things are first, and that is, I love you. You're my same flesh and blood. You're my brother. And now, that old saying, you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friends, So I just encourage you, Marie, very much. I'm sensing, maybe it's from the Holy Spirit here, that, God looks throughout the world, Marie, and he looks for people who can accomplish beautiful things for him. And if your family has these dynamics going on, it's very, very possible that God has put it on your heart to see. He's giving you the vision to see more or less everything that's kind of going on. And the way you're approaching this, God is going to be delighted by that. And I believe his graces will be very, very much at work within your entire family. So I would just say, keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad you have spiritual direction going. That's fantastic. And just watch and see what God does here this year, next year, over the coming years.
I agree. And Marie, you could ramp up some of the dedicated prayers for your family, even mix in fasting, stuff like that, to really help magnify the sense that you really do care about the souls of your family members. I don't know. You probably have thought of that, right, Marie?
I really hadn't, to be honest, and this is really beautiful. In my heart, I know that we love one another, that we're just in this system that's a weird thing. Right. It's severe, but it slowly I'm understand. Much like yourself, it's taken me about 45 years to get that this is really what's happening. And
we're the same person.
But, we are the same person.
Twins.
Twins.
This aspect of prayer has changed everything for me. And that's the big thing for me. I think that's why I wanted to call back.
Right.
Because it has been changing things in my heart. And I don't expect them to change, but I do love them more than they could possibly understand. Right. And this is the way, isn't it? I really appreciate you saying the prayer, the fasting, and that God would be delighted by these things. Because ultimately, as I'm in the first half of the fourth quarter of my life, that's becoming more and more,
right.
The whole goal is how am I pleasing God? And I don't think I was pleasing him before. It's been a real transformation in this year, even though I'm stepping away. So, it's just, it's odd.
Well, you remember, you're stepping away from the encounters, but you're not stepping away from the family. You're still always going to be part of the family. Okay, so it's just the encounters, the day-to-day or seasonal encounters. But Marie, one other thing, maybe have some masses said for your family. I am a firm believer of masses. I have masses said for my family on a regular basis. Some of them listen to the show. I understand some of them listen to the show, some of my siblings. And if you're listening right now, I say to you, I feel like that's the greatest gift I can offer you is these great masses for our family. So maybe that would help as well, Marie. Marie, you're not a first-time caller anymore. We hope you feel super comfortable with the Take Two family. You can always email us and call us. Take2@ewtn.com is the way to email us. But stay in touch, okay, Marie? And have a beautiful, beautiful Christmas.
Thank you, Marie. Great first call here on today's Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. We're going to go to more of your calls when we come back. We have a couple open phone lines, but Christina and Dee, you will be next. What we're talking about today is estrangements, heartaches, disappointments, difficulties that maybe you face year-round, but they are accentuated a little bit during the Christmas time. And we would love to have your participation on the show. And we get to email as well at take2@ewtn.com. And we're streaming the video on Facebook and YouTube. And Debbie, on YouTube, Barbara said, "My husband is keeping my 3 oldest babies from me. He's living with and engaged to another woman. It hurts not to have babies that are so young. I give them to God and trust Jesus with everything in me." So a really difficult situation for Barbara. Yeah.
That is very painful, Barbara. Barbara, lean on the Blessed Mother. Absolutely lean on the Blessed Mother. Also, cultivate your relationship with your guardian angel so you can send your guardian angel to your kid's guardian angel so you can stay connected, Barbara. There's ways to have that support during this very, very difficult time. This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We're talking about estrangements during the holidays. We want to hear from you at 833-288-3986.
Father John Riccardo.
When you and I wake up every day, do we strive to know Jesus or not? Quick question to you and me right now. Is that what you and I are doing every single day?
The leading Catholic voices are on EWTN Radio.
I'm Jerry Usher.
And I'm Debbie Georgiani. We want to tell you about the Inspired by Faith Book Club.
Join us as we gather together and read a featured inspirational book each month and engage in meaningful discussions together.
Want to participate? The details are simple and can be found at jerryanddebbie.com by clicking on the Book Club tab.
Invite your friends and let's spend some quality time in fellowship with the Inspired by Faith Book Club at jerryanddebbie.com.
If you're like me, you probably go through the same thing every Christmas. So many names on the list and not sure of what to get them. This year, I'm giving something special. Subscriptions to EWTN's National Catholic Register. It's the award-winning newspaper that's filled with solid Catholic reporting, Catholic education, book reviews, entertainment, travel, and more. If I order a subscription for myself or give one as a gift, I get a DVD of EWTN's original movie Mother Cabrini absolutely free, and I save on every additional subscription that I give. Here's how to order.
Get 26 issues of EWTN's National Catholic Register for less than $2 per issue. Call 800-421-3230 and mention code RADIO. Save even more and get $10 off on each additional gift subscription. The National Catholic Register. Read faithfully.
I'm Gloria Purvis.
And I'm Deacon Harold. The Morning Glory team asks, are you using God's resources wisely?
Tomorrow morning, 7 Eastern. Now back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
Wow, as Debbie pointed out early in the program, 1 week to go until Christmas. This Advent seems to be going by quickly for me. Plus, it's a little bit shorter, with Christmas being on a Wednesday, and you get the 4 Sundays of Advent, and then just a couple days, and then there we are at Christmas. But we just hope and pray that each and every one of you, the Take Two family, are just basking in the peace and the love of Jesus in this Advent season, this time of preparation. And we have a few show topics that are dealing with the holidays, and today is another one. We're talking about if you have had any heartaches in the past, maybe you're experiencing a heartache right now as you head into Christmas time, disappointments, estrangements. Beautiful call from Marie, Debbie, and for others who want to get on board, it's 833-288-3986.
And Marie, if you're still listening, which I hope you are, please email us at take2@ewtn.com. I'd love to maybe stay in touch. I feel that. I strongly feel that. We're so connected in similar ways with our family dynamics. We have a shout out to do, or an invitation to Thomas. Thomas in Massachusetts. You were on the line. Ryan was speaking to you and you weren't supposed to hang up. And so Ryan texted over to us and said, please, and he put it in all capital letters. It was so sad. Ryan goes, please get Thomas back. Please, this is going to ruin my day. So Thomas, if you're listening in Massachusetts, please call back. Ryan will be so happy, and then we don't have to hear it the rest of the day. Okay, 833-288-3986. That's the number to call to get on the show. As Jerry promised, Christina is up next in Maryland on Guadalupe Radio Network. Also a first-time caller. Hi, Christina. Welcome.
Yes, hi.
Hi.
Maybe this time, Christmas has been our best holiday ever. But this Christmas is a little bit different this time. And we are kind of behind with, with decorations and stuff. Because the father of my children is very ill. He's losing his battle with cancer. And he just have few, maybe week, days. I'll just guess no. And we're having a hard time. I have 5 children with him.
Okay, Christina, it almost sounds like when you were talking, you said you have 5 children with him. Is he in the home, or are you guys separated?
He's at the hospice. We did separate a while ago, but
Okay.
I've been with him. I've been walking with him through this.
Okay.
To this time.
Okay, may I make a suggestion? Like Jerry and I are not counselors or therapists, but I have actually been through this a couple times with friends. May I suggest something, Christina? Don't worry about the Christmas decorations. Just get the nativity set up. Get your creche up, your nativity set up, okay? And remind your 5 children of the importance of what's happening during the season. Take that nativity scene to the hospital if you can, even if it's on the form of a picture or a poster board. Bring it into the hospital. Make the season about getting everybody focused on not all the ancillary stuff, the external stuff or the surrounding stuff of the holiday or the commercial stuff, but what the true season is, because you don't want your kids to have this always be the memory that they mixed together, that this was the saddest time of their life because their dad is dying of cancer. What you want to do is refocus that and let everybody understand that this is not the end. This is the beginning. Okay, this world, as soon as we're born, Christina, you know this, being the mother of 5 children, as soon as we're born, we begin to die. This is not heaven here. You're the father of the children, your husband, he's going on, and it's important that we get situated now with that transition so that all of us can look forward to that, not feel like it's so heavy we can't get through it. I hope that somewhat helps you a little. Jerry, I know you have something to say. I see you're ready to jump in.
Well, Christina, I'm wondering, is this gentleman, is he a practicing Catholic? Is he in the faith? Is he with the church?
No, the truth is he have a different religion.
Well, when you say different religion, is it a different Christian tradition, maybe a Lutheran or Methodist, or is it a different religion apart from Christianity?
Jehovah
Witness. Okay. So I know there are some current concerns there on your part as well with regard to that.
Yes.
And like Debbie said, Christina, I can relate to this as well. My parents divorced when I was 7, and I had not very much contact with my dad for most of the rest of the years of his life. And he was away from the church for many, many years. And I want to give you encouragement, Christina, because when my father passed away, my mother and all 5 of us siblings were by his side, and it was absolutely amazing. This is kind of like one of those Hollywood movies, Christina, where you think it's just going to end ugly and so forth, and God can actually make that. God can make that work out. Christina, I couldn't believe it as I would look around that hospital room and see all 5 of his children and our mom. And there had been all this estrangement and all of this concern about his soul. So I really want to encourage you, just keep doing what Debbie said, and make sure that you're just praying for him and entrust him to the Divine Mercy. Pray the Divine Mercy Chaplet. If you're not familiar with that, just look it up online, Divine Mercy Chaplet. Okay, you are. So anyway, we want to let you speak again. We're both saying a lot here, but what do you think?
Yes, I'm a woman of faith.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there is a new heaven, and then we get reunited with God, your Maker. But at the same time, my humanity sometimes felt like course, sad. Because even with Pray, I still love this man, and it is hard for me to see him suffer that much. And, the children are going to miss him too then.
Right.
Are the children practicing Catholics, Christina?
Yes,
okay.
All of them. Yes, I kind of have raised them. And we're close. We're close.
Well, I agree with Jerry. This is a perfect time for you and the children to just together ramp up those prayers, the Divine Mercy Chaplet, get the nativity scene out. Don't worry about those other decorations. Don't worry about those. Just get to the heart of the season and bond with that and pray for him so strongly that you think you can't pray anymore. Go more and more, and you watch. I mean, our Lord is listening to all of us, and he hears all of our prayers, especially when a family joins together in the love they have for their Father. That could be huge, Christina. It could be gigantic for your family for all of eternity. You never know. In God's love and mercy, right, Jerry?
Yeah, I mean, the prayers of the little ones are especially dear to our Lord's heart. Okay, Christina, we'll let you go on that, and we're going to be praying for the father of your children, and for you and for the kids as well, that they will be able to look back on this, a year from now, 10 years, 20, when they're adults and have kids and grandkids, and they will look at it as a joyful time. We're going to pray for that because the Lord worked such beautiful miracles in his life and in all of your lives. So, Christina, be assured of our prayers, and feel free to email us at take2@ewtn.com or call us back anytime if you want to just share how things unfolded. We'd love to hear from you again. But God bless you. You go with our prayers.
Thank you, Christina. Okay, folks are already praying. We're getting messages coming in praying for Christina's entire family. That we hope you feel that spiritual support. Okay, next up is one more time. I'm going to do it one more time. Thomas, if you're listening in Massachusetts, Ryan wants you to call back, and we do as well. Thomas, please call back. 833-288-3986. And you're in Massachusetts. You were on the phone earlier and had to hang up. Okay. Oh, now we're saying there might be full phone lines. Oh, now we got an open phone line. That's good. So Thomas can slip right in there if you hurry up, Thomas. Okay, Dee is up next in Rochester, New York, listening on the Station of the Cross. Hi, Dee. Welcome.
Hi. I just wanted to pass on something that I remember Father Groeschel had mentioned years ago, and I've heard it a number of times. So if you're feeling bad and down, the best way to forget about your troubles is to go help somebody else with theirs. I know of a couple who did that when they were both widowed, and they went and worked at a soup kitchen. Actually, they eventually even got married, but that's not the reason you do that. But that may not work in all cases. But sometimes if you want to forget about your own troubles, go help somebody else with theirs.
Oh, bless the blessed name of Father Benedict Groeschel. And I don't mean that he's venerable. I just mean what a beautiful, beautiful soul he was. Thank you for bringing up his name today on the program, Dee. And you are so right. I have had, as perhaps Debbie has, I have had, actually I've been in counseling, as Debbie mentioned early in the show, that she has over the years I have been. And one of the things that they advised me to do was to actually do exactly what you're talking about. And that gets us out of ourselves. If your attention is on somebody else or a group of people, you're serving them, you're doing whatever with them, then you're not really thinking about your own issues and your own troubles. Not that they aren't there, not that they aren't important and serious, but also it just helps us realize that other people have their problems and their troubles, and sometimes they're way worse than ours. So, Debbie, I think this is just an amazing contribution to the program from Dee today.
Absolutely, Dee. And you know what? Just to get outside of yourself, and when things are happening to us, we always think it's just shooting at us, And when we see that the world is going on and we can be a part of that world and help others and be Christ to others, it changes our whole perspective. So, Dee, thank you so much for sharing that. I think it's a great reminder for all of us, and we really appreciate it. God bless you, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Advent and Christmas season, okay?
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Dee. Okay, talking today about the holidays and how we sometimes have heartaches, disappointments. Maybe you're estranged from a family member or a friend. We want to talk about it not just to bring us all down, but hopefully we can find some positive things in this and how we can bring each other up and have a bit more joy than we otherwise might expect to have here during the holidays. So we're going to go back to your calls. Here's the number, 833-288-3986. We have one open phone line that Dee was on, so feel free to grab the hold of that line. And we go to Rosa next. Rosa is in Santa Rosa, California, listening on Sirius XM 130 and a first-time caller. Hi, Rosa. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
And I do appreciate you guys being in the air because it's kind of helped me a little bit through this season that I'm having a really tough time. All these emotions, like people were saying, you separate from your family, but you love them, but you don't know how to shine before them. When my husband died, you would think that you'd get ahead and have them come a little closer because now you have a sorrow, you have little kids, you have to raise them. But I feel that people don't know how to approach you when that happens, and I feel that they separate themselves even more. Sometimes, comments like, it's okay, you didn't have to come when I'm in the hospital because I've got the most important people surrounding me. And you are one of those siblings. You are one of those important people you would think that would be there and they would appreciate that. And they forget. They tend to forget because you've been separated from them for so long because no one knows how to talk to you about grievance or, your children. And now this year, my children have argued more than I've ever seen them hate each other, and it's breaking my heart. It's just, I work a lot of hours trying to provide. They don't step forward to be the responsible adults, but they bicker what I didn't do, how I could have helped, how no one ever comes around, how I work too much, how... I don't know. I just feel disconnected, but I'm trying not to harden my heart to be a good Christian Catholic person because even I notice my family members, many of them like to show up on certain occasions and say, I have myself a golden button to get to heaven. But it's work in progress within you, and that's what I've been doing. But this year, for the holidays, it's been really tough.
We can hear it in your voice. Rosa, may we ask a couple things? Your husband, when did he pass away? And are you able to give us his first name for our prayer book? If not, that's okay. But when did he pass away?
Yes, 17 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, some years are easy, other years are not. Today, this year is not very much.
Right. We can hear it. It's hurting you. Can you share his first name?
It's Jose.
Jose. Okay. Okay, so let me just suggest something, okay? It's time I think, for you to pour out your heart, your mother's heart, in a loving way to a letter to all your children as a Christmas gift. Is there a way you can insert a letter from your heart of just what you, as the mom of this beautiful family, the emotions you have felt, without laying any blame, without trying to skirt any accountability, take all the accountability you can, but just to lay out your heart of the love you have for each and every one of these children and how you want the best for them and you want the family unit to be tighter and closer and not let Jose's passing. I know he was the father and sounds like maybe a very strong father of the family, and sometimes even 17 years, people still have a hard time, dealing with a death in the family. But I think it's time for you to share your heart because you shared it with a global platform today. You clearly want your heart to be known. Am I right about this?
Exactly. Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Then I would suggest do it.
That suggestion is amazing.
Well, can I make one other suggestion? I know you're going to think this may be a little off, but just trust me on this one. I would do the letter in front of adoration. Go to adoration if you can, and be in front of the Blessed Sacrament. Be in front of Jesus, And when you prepare this, because I think it helps to keep you in that beautiful place that you want the best for your family. And you can even extend that to your siblings or your birth family or whatever you need to do. But there's such a beauty in front of the Blessed Sacrament. What do you think about that, Jerry?
Oh, I absolutely agree with you on that. I mean, there's incredible power when you're in the presence of the Blessed Sacrament. If you can find the Blessed Sacrament exposed in adoration, Rosa, I know you probably know all about this. If not, just get to a parish where there's a tabernacle and just set everything else aside, all of your other thoughts, worries, concerns, and say, Jesus, please, I've got all these distractions. I don't want them to interfere with what my heart wants to share with my children, and just ask the Holy Spirit and ask our Blessed Mother, and of course Saint Joseph, because your husband's name was Jose and my middle name is Joseph. He is very, very powerful as well. And so I see something good coming out of this because of what Debbie had to say. I really do. What do you think, Rosa?
I think this is great. Definitely brings me to feel makes me feel better, because I've tried everything, and you know how when you try to express yourself, you're not very good with words, and people kind of either cut you down and say, but you did this, and I remember that, and I hate you for that. It's hard to express how you love them, or you want to hug them, and they push you away. Oh, I'm an adult, don't hug me in front of people. Those things are kind of like a little bit heart killers, and I don't know why this year has been so heavy. But those suggestions, I can very much do that, and I think God is really working with me and boosting me up again.
Oh, praise God. Praise God. And here's the thing, when you give that letter, just know that you did it from your heart, and try to not think of any expectations. You don't want anything back. You just give freely as a mother does. And you watch how the good Lord will work in their hearts and their souls. And that's what you want as a mom, right? You want them to get to heaven, right? Rosa, as you were speaking, I could feel the Holy Spirit. So I really feel, I think I'm safe to say this one was spot on. And please keep us posted. We got the Take Two family praying for your family right now. Please email us at take2@ewtn.com so we can journey with you. Okay, Rosa?
Everyone who's listening, and there is a God, and He is very powerful, and we just need to accept Him as fully as possible.
Amen. Amen. Well, we can hear that He is the King of your heart. We can hear that, Rosa. Thank you, and do keep us posted. We would love to hear how things kind of unfold for you in the near future. And I just want to mention that this is, of course, EWTN Radio. And EWTN is, of course, your Catholic station, your Catholic network, and your local affiliates. And tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on EWTN Radio Classics, it's going to be an EWTN Family Christmas Special with Father Joseph Mary Wolf and the EWTN Choir in a special Christmas concert from the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament. Get details about this on EWTN.com. But that, Debbie, I can just hear the beauty of that choir and Father Joseph Mary.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. Okay, so we got some good news, but I'm sure it's fine. So Thomas did call back from Massachusetts. I love the Take Two family. Everybody's like, is Thomas called back yet? Thomas did call back, spoke to Ryan, but then he obviously had to hang up. Maybe he had something else to do, but at least he made Ryan's day and all of us. So maybe he'll send us an email. Thomas, you can send us an email, take2@ewtn.com. So, Jerry, I'm so glad that now we don't have to hear Ryan saying, couldn't you get Thomas back?
Well, thanks again, Thomas. Thank you, Ryan, for passing that along to us as well. Hey, I want to mention we got an email, take2@ewtn.com is the email address. And Stephanie, I hope you're still listening. This came in about 18 minutes ago. Stephanie says, good morning. Your topic is so relevant to me today. I'm struggling quite a bit this year. My sister lives at home with my parents. She is abusive both physically and emotionally to them and me when I visit. The last time I was there, I just decided that I can't keep going and putting myself in that situation. There's a lot of blame being thrown around, and most of it ends up on me. One of the most upsetting things is my parents who advocate for my sister, but not me. They try to push us together and guilt me into speaking to her. I know it probably sounds horrible, but with our past, I just can't keep going back to the abuse again and again. My husband is there for me and agrees. We are trying to get pregnant and grow our family. With the abuse, we especially do not want any children being exposed to this. And she says the guilt can be crushing and numbing, and she asks for if we have any resources for her. And I'll tell you what, Stephanie, I think, Debbie, we can maybe do a little bit of research off the air.
Yes,
hard to do that on the fly, but we'll try and see if we can come up with something for you, Stephanie. But our prayers are certainly with you. So
it's very tough. And we understand as parents, we want our children to get along no matter what. We want our children to be close. That's what parents want. They don't want their kids to be disconnected. But sometimes, certain situations require a healthy distance just for everybody's sanity. Okay, do we have time, Jerry? What do you think? We do. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Roy in Massachusetts on the Station of the Cross, first time caller. Hi, Roy. We have a couple minutes just for you.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
All right. I'm kind of down because I lost my parents this year, in April and May of this year.
Oh.
Well, we're sorry about that, Roy.
Yeah.
And right close back to back as well. So this would be your first Christmas without them, obviously.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Can you share their names, Roy, for our book so we can be praying and offer you that support around your family? If not, God knows Roy's parents' names.
Yeah, Anna and Antonico Figueredo.
Anna and Anthony. Okay. Well, you know what? May I just say something, Roy? This is a time for you to just enter into the story of Jesus. And just, let yourself get lost in a beautiful way in the great miracle of the gift of the baby Jesus, and do your part to just allow yourself to take care, to grieve, which rightly so, you need that time, but also try to focus on the story for you, because God came for you as a baby, as an infant baby, a little baby for you, Roy. And it's a beautiful thing. And so if you can try to be able to comfort yourself through the grieving process, but also enter into the beauty of the major miraculous gift that you have received. God made man. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. You can't even grasp it. But when you get into that, it'll help, I think, relieve some of that pain that you're feeling in the immediate sense of losing both your parents. Sometimes I think when we grieve, we close out the whole world and we don't give a chance to see what the beauty that's outside of those feelings. I'm praying. I know I'm jumbling this up, but I think I've got an idea of how I'm going to pray for you and in your family, Roy. What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said, Debbie and Roy. This may be difficult right now, being your first Christmas without them, but it is a joyous season. And as Debbie alluded, Jesus was born to die. I mean, we cannot separate Christmas from Good Friday and from Easter. And maybe you can reflect back on the full lives that your parents lived, the beautiful lives that they lived. Whoever you are as a person right now is because of what they gave you and how they formed you and raised you in the faith, presumably. So along with all that Debbie said, it may not be easy, but maybe intentionally, if you have to kind of force yourself to do it a little bit, just remember the great joy that they were in your life and that you were for them. And maybe on Christmas morning, you will have that spark of joy that maybe you don't feel right now. So what do you think of all that we've said, Roy?
Yeah, it sounds good and positive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Definitely praying, as Debbie said. So,
it's tough
Debbie,
when you lose your parents. Yeah.
Yeah, especially that first time around. I think of my brother-in-law. My sister died just after Christmas, and I think the next year I actually went up to see him at Christmas and just to kind of be a support to him. But these times of year can be tough for a lot of people. So take two family. Let's be lifting one another up in prayer. Let's ask God to do great things in all of our lives during this upcoming Christmas time and into the new year.
Absolutely. And Doris, we're sorry we couldn't get to you. Please email us that prayer. You have a prayer, I think, for Christina to pray for her loved one. So Doris, take two at EWTN.com. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about keeping the joy, enjoying the joy of Christmas, right? We're shifting gears on Take Two. Until then, have a beautiful and blessed day. See you real soon.
Dr. Ray Guarendi, avoiding